In the context of peace, territorial integrity, national unity, and political stability resulting from the win-win policy and an unwavering adherence to the principle of democracy, rule of law, and respect to human rights under the constitutional law, Cambodia has achieved remarkable growth in all sectors in recent decades. In particular, becoming a lower middle-income country in 2015 was a key milestone achievement in its history, as well as the achievements of other main development goals. With strong commitment and ambition, the Royal Government of Cambodia has set out to implement reform programs. These are the key pillars of reforming the framework of decentralization, transferring of resources, budget system reform, and human resources development. Through the Public Financial Management Reform Program, Cambodia has committed to transform the public financial system to an output-based and decentralized system in accordance with international best practices. In fact, budget execution has been improved due to the better performances of revenue and expenditure, leading to timely payments, eliminating prolonged spending arrears, launching financial management information systems, and more. These efforts are acknowledged by development partners and confirmed by international evaluation systems such as PIFA, the Public Expenditure and Financial Accountability Framework. The National Budget 2018 maintains reform momentum, which the Royal Government has been continuously pressing since the beginning of its legislature. Especially to meet the objectives of the Rectangular Strategy Phase 3 for growth, employment, equity, and efficiency in Cambodia. These are also the objectives of the socio-economic policy and political agenda of the 5th Legislature of the Royal Government of Cambodia. According to the forecasts, Cambodian economic growth in 2018 is likely to grow around 7%, making nominal GDP rise to 99,116 billion reals, or about $24.6 billion US dollars. GDP per capita is expected to reach 1,568 US dollars. This growth is supported by industrial sector growth at about 8.6%, service sector growth at about 7.6%, and agricultural sector growth at about 2%. The average annual inflation rate is estimated at 3.5% due to the gradual increase in prices of oil at international markets and certain agricultural products. The real exchange rate will be kept at a stable rate of 4,037 reals per US dollar. The poverty rate has declined from 53.5% in 2004 to 13.5% in 2014 and continues to gradually decrease. Foreign exchange reserves increased from 3.64 billion US dollars in 2013 to 7.85 billion dollars in 2018 due to the increase in foreign direct investment. In the context of macroeconomic stability, while ensuring equity, inclusiveness, and resilience, the 2018 budget realizes key government policies and priorities. By implementing policy measures in Medium-Term Revenue Mobilization Strategy 2014-2018, the national current revenue has increased about 2 times, from 2,264 million US dollars in 2013 to 4,080 million in 2018. Achieving such high revenue collections is unprecedented in the last 20 years. Cambodia, which used to rank as the lowest national revenue to GDP in the region, now ranks in the middle level. Moreover, the International Monetary Fund and other international financial institutions have highly evaluated and praised these achievements. Overall, total national revenue is forecast to increase to about 23,383 billion reals, equivalent to 23.59% of GDP, with a growth of 10.6% compared to the 2017 budget law. Total expenditure was planned at 24,375 billion reals, equivalent to 24.59% of GDP, an increase of 15.2% compared to the 2017 budget law. This means that total expenditures have increased almost double, from around $3.35 billion in 2013 to about $6 billion in 2018. As a result, the current budget surplus can remain at about 2.48% of GDP in 2018. With the 2018 National Budget Plan, the Royal Government continues to focus on key areas. The social sector is considered the first priority in the 2018 budget allocation, with a budget of approximately 5,658 billion reals, equivalent to 4.71% of GDP, and an increase of 17% compared to the 2017 budget law. The social sector budget strengthens education quality and services, develops skills and the labor market, improves quality of health services, supports veteran associations, increases budget support for the establishment of 1,242 senior citizen associations across the country, provides budget support for pilot programs for poor communities, conserves and develops national culture, and more. The 2018 Ministry of Education, Youth and Sport budget, compared to 2013, has increased more than 3 times. The Ministry of Health budget has gone up almost 2.5 times. The National Defense, Security and Public Order budget is 3,894 billion reals, equivalent to 3.93% of GDP, and is an increase of 16.7% compared to the 2017 budget law. This budget includes support for court proceedings at all levels and judicial administration, combating human trafficking, focusing on the living conditions and the well-being of armed forces in the pursuit of protecting national sovereignty, integrity, security, and public order. The General Administration Sector budget is 2,263 billion reals, equivalent to 2.28% of GDP, a growth of 13.9% compared to the 2017 budget law. This budget supports the implementation of the National Program on Public Administration Reform 2015-2018, the implementation of the Cambodia Industrial Development Policy 2015-2025, and the continued support for external audits which promote good governance and efficient utilization of public resources with transparency and accountability. The economic sector budget is about 1,379 billion reals, equivalent to 1.39% of GDP, an increase of 5.6% compared to the 2017 budget law. This budget promotes productivity, diversification, and commercialization in agriculture, infrastructure repair and maintenance, development of clean water and sanitation in rural areas, strengthening tourism, continuing the open markets for exports, and strengthening development mechanisms of small and medium-sized enterprises. The Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries 2018 budget has nearly tripled in 2018 compared to 2013. The Royal Government continues to increase the minimum wage for civil servants and armed forces by nearly 3 times compared to 2013. The salary of civil servants increased from 340,000 reals in 2013 to more than 1 million reals in 2018. Teacher and health worker salaries increased from 360,000 reals in 2013 to more than 1 million reals in 2018. Police salaries went up from 380,000 reals in 2013 to more than 1 million reals in 2018. Soldier salaries increased from 316,000 reals in 2013 to over 1 million reals in 2018. Salaries have been continuously increased for subnational civil servants at councils for cities, provinces, municipalities, districts, khans, and communes, as well as for village chiefs. In addition, from January 2018, the royal government has provided 2 additional social protection benefits, including maternal benefits and funeral allowances to civil servants. In the 2018 budget, the government has emphasized health care and maternity benefits for workers. It also provides about $15 million in continued support for the sustainability of Kanta Bopa Children's Hospital. The royal government of Cambodia channels capital budgets to support economic growth. It will do this by promoting competitiveness and economic productivity with projects in sectors such as energy, irrigation, infrastructure, agriculture, health, tourism, water supply, and education. To achieve all of these objectives, the royal government has introduced measures to respond to the negative impacts of macroeconomic risks, as well as measures to strengthen and improve policies and revenue and spending management. Additional measures promote the implementation of major reform programs, particularly the Public Financial Management Reform Program, Stage 3 Budget Policy Linkages, and the Budget System Reform Strategy 2018-2025. Public Administration Reform, and Subnational Democratic Development. In addition to the planned removal of the slaughter tax, the royal government has revised Article 47 of the taxation law by raising the minimum threshold of the salary tax to 1,200,000 reals. This provides preferential treatment to low-income civil servants and workers. It also includes regulations on tax on oil and mining operations. Achieving high economic growth and stable macroeconomic conditions of low inflation and stable exchange rates has provided opportunities for new job creation and increased income earning. In this regard, the salary for civil servants and armed forces has increased every year. There are many proactive measures of the royal government in both political and policy aspects concerning lower costs of electricity and water, easing tax burden, and exempting certain taxes. These measures have benefited the public in general, particularly low-income people, civil servants, armed forces, teachers, health workers, and other workers. The 2018 budget could be referred to as the strategic strengthening and maximized resource mobilization to achieve the main objectives of the 5th Legislature of the Royal Government of Cambodia.